Namaskar. My very warm greetings to you all from Indian Embassy in Dublin. At the outset, I would like to express my very sincere gratitude to Mr. Jay Shahji and Greer Deal of MedDTA for inviting me to this excellent program on the medical devices sector. This sector is extremely important for India and indeed a very high priority for our country, particularly in the context of the post-corona environment. The experience of past 2 years has shown to us that healthcare is not just a matter of concern to the doctors or the patients or the medtech business community, but the resilience, the strength of the healthcare institution and healthcare infrastructure in its entirety is becoming increasingly a really strategic matter of concern, and it impinges on the society as a whole, not just the people who are affected. Secondly, the corona pandemic has also brought to the fore the very painful questions about the nature of our globalized and interdependent society, our existence as a whole. This is a wake up call for all of us to think about the sustainability and resilience and uh, redundancies in the supply chains and the connectivities that we are establishing for international trade. A country like India, which has about 1.4 billion people, and also the population density is so intense, we have extremely high degree of vulnerability to disruptions in supply chains. So we have no doubt to work to convert our ways of business, our transportation links, our supply chains in a manner which are more resilient to future shocks and catastrophes. That is why our Prime Minister Honorable Narendra Modi ji gave the nation the wake up call to embrace the ethos of uh, local for global. There has to be greater stress on optimizing use of locally available resources and local talent and local traditional knowledge, so that the supply chains are shorter and they are more resilient. And in this context, for India in the medtech sector, the highest priority remains to boost domestic manufacturing. India currently is one of the largest medtech med devices market. About 750 to 800 medical devices companies are working in India. Majority of them are multinational companies, but also we have a growing number of domestic Indian manufacturers in this segment. But still, about 80% of our dependency for medical devices sector is on imports from other countries. And our exports are quite modest, around $2.5 billion a year in medical devices segment. So we need to prioritize manufacturing of medical devices and medtech solutions within India. That is our highest priority and national mission. And in this context, I'm very happy to share that our Prime Minister Modi ji has taken a lot of interesting initiatives to make India a more attractive place to manufacture. About 60,000 kilometers of national highways have been constructed. About 24,000 kilometers of railways have been electrified during Prime Minister Modi's regime. About 38 new airports have been operationalized. So we are witnessing a transformation of the physical infrastructure, which had been the single biggest uh, uh, bottleneck in boosting India's infrastructure. Also, on the policy front, the government has introduced a large number of reforms, including sector-specific policies in the medical devices sector. Also, 100% FDI is allowed in medical devices sector, both for greenfield projects and for brownfield projects. And most significantly, the government has announced production linked incentives, which will go a long way in making India a really attractive place to make large scale manufacturing within the country, not only for India's needs but also for global requirements. Also, several state governments have been very proactive and they have developed their own policies and proposals for creating specialized medical devices manufacturing hubs, and specialized zones have been allocated to make medtech manufacturing parks in Tamil Nadu, in UP, and MP, in Himachal Pradesh, and many others are taking similar initiatives. The third component is massive in thrust on boosting domestic startup and entrepreneurship culture. India is now the third largest cluster of startups. We have close to 70,000 startup companies registered in India. India is also the third largest unicorn base globally. We have around 92 unicorns, and 46 unicorns were created only last year in 2021. So it's a very, very vibrant startup and innovation ecosystem that is evolving in India. The government of India is extremely supportive, and there are very convenient financial products which are available for startups. Specialized agencies are providing grant and support for innovative solutions and encouraging youth-led entrepreneurship. So this is changing the game of technology development within the country. Friends, with regard to the India-Ireland partnership, I'm very excited that our countries have really complementary strengths in medical devices segment. Also, the unique locational advantage of Ireland and similarly strategic location of India, uh, they are very different in terms of strategic connectivities. Also, our diaspora connectivities, Ireland's very large diaspora and also India's very large diaspora dispersed in over 100 countries in a very significant concentration. These are also uh, complementary. And therefore, I see there is a genuine logic, compelling rationale for our countries to work even more closely and enable uh, business communities from our countries to work together, partner, and become each other's force multipliers. Uh, Ireland is an extremely vibrant, innovative tech and financial ecosystem. Ireland also has the advantage of being part of OECD and European Union, and therefore they are always very high in benchmarking and quality standards. Similarly, India can provide value to our Irish friends in the areas of economy of scale, and also providing very huge domestic market. At the same time, India can provide a very large human resource pool. India has second largest pool of scientific and technical manpower, and by 2030 it is estimated that India will have about one fourth of uh, global skilled manpower pool. Also, one fourth of the all university graduates produced worldwide will come from Indian universities. This is very, very important because in future the growth will necessarily require multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and cross-cutting expertise, and therefore availability of a significant number of skilled manpower, highly qualified and competent in a large number of sectors and subsectors would be a great requirement for global industrial growth. Friends, with regard to specific opportunities, one is innovative financing of products. Ireland being very vibrant hub in financing, financial services and fintech, can take lead in creating new products for India-Ireland partnership in medical devices and medtech sector. Secondly, startup connect between India and Ireland would be mutually beneficial. Thirdly, the domain of education and skilling in themes relating to medical technology and medical devices and healthcare in general uh, uh, could provide a lot of business opportunity for our institutions. Uh, Recently, the University Grants Commission of India uh, has announced specific modalities for internationalization of Indian education and specified specific modalities for twinning arrangements and joint degree programs and dual degree programs. So now we have a clear mandate, clear regulatory procedures mechanism for connecting Indian institutions with Irish institutions. And this is a very significant area for us to work together. I would really appreciate if MDD can take initiative and together with the embassy can host specific webinars on how do we promote trade between India and Ireland in medical devices and medtech sector and startup and academic connect. And also going beyond. Eventually, we need partnerships. We need partnerships beyond transactional trade and robust uh, linkages through technology partnership and manufacturing in India. We in the Indian Embassy, our friends, are always at your disposal. If there's anything we can do to facilitate your understanding of India or improve your connectivities with relevant stakeholders in India, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be very delighted to interact with you and support you, guide you in any manner possible. Once again, my very sincere thanks to Deal family and Meddia for hosting this event. I wish this interaction and this event a great success. Thank you so much.